Hello, 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 Dolly Tribe. This is Evie. Yes, I need to recycle more sunshine here today. And Dolly Tribe, I'm here with you today to show you some grim and grime, um, you know, type of issue in the dog community that needs to be addressed. And I've seen a few articles out there, and I've been wanting to talk about this even before the Barbie movie launched this year, but I'm just now getting around to it, which is plastics waste on the earth. So yes, there will be some very grimy video pictures and stuff of like waste and things like that, but I did try to make it less visually disturbing as possible. So we're about to get into some talk about plastic waste and things like that. So although it's not my typical content and it's not bringing the sunshine, I still have to address this because this affects sunshine. Plastic is a very valuable resource. It appears that humans are totally obsessed with plastic. It's been said that plastic is a darn near indestructible material. 380 million tons of plastic is produced each year. It has been studied that up to 50% of plastic is used for one-time, single-use purposes. Even though the plastic is used in a single moment, it is believed that this indestructible material will last on our planet for at least many hundred years. They believe at least 500 years. Environmentalists believe more than 10 million tons of plastic is dumped into our oceans every year. Packaging is the largest culprit in use of plastic in the world, slightly over 40% of total plastic usage. 500 billion plastic bags are used worldwide annually. A plastic bag has an average working life of 15 minutes. Per Container Recycling Institute, 100.7 billion plastic beverage bottles were sold in 2014. That makes 315 bottles per person. 14% of all litter comes from beverage containers. For plastics and rubber, typical working life is about 10 years. The things we consume most, that is like packaging, consumer products, textiles, things that are textile adjacent, electrical and electronic plastics, have the shortest working lifespan between 0 to 8 years. Plastic and rubbers used in transportation, industrial machinery, and construction have longer life cycles from 8 to 35 years. If we don't change our position on plastic production and policies, global plastic waste generation is forecast to triple by the year 2060 to a shameful 1 billion metric tons per year. Less than 10% of plastic waste is recycled per year. Most municipal recycling programs do not accept rigid plastics or molded plastics at the curb. Vast majority of plastics waste generated ends up in landfills or incinerators, which emit harmful pollutants. Other plastic waste usually ends up mismanaged or littered. Asia accounts for more than 80% of global plastics waste released to the ocean. The United States is a major contributor to plastics waste. The U.S. has tripled plastic waste since the 80s. The United States has 5 times more plastic waste generation than global per capita average. We're increasing the rate of using plastics, but unfortunately the recycling rate is falling. Only 5 to 6% municipal plastic waste was recycled in 2021, compared with almost 9% in 2018. United States exports colossal volumes of plastic waste, often to struggling developing countries who already lack efficient waste management infrastructure. This usually means plastic waste is likely open dumped or burned. Recently, countries such as China have restricted foreign waste imports. This has resulted in Western countries, mostly notably the US, to further struggle with our waste management infrastructure. We have a huge problem with beverage bottles, food wrappers, grocery bags, straws and stirs, and plastic containers. Plastics pollution is now so alarming. Plastics that dissolve into microplastics can contaminate anything and everywhere, even the human bloodstream. Scientists have found microplastics in the fish that we eat. Waste plastics generation by society has now grown into something that has outpaced us. Disturbing trend that needs a solution. In 2018, China banned plastics waste imports and set a plan to phase out certain plastics by 2025. Most plastic is produced using gas and oil, which contributes to global warming. The problem is so bad, UN negotiators seek to propose and execute a global, legally binding plastics treaty by the end of 2024. This plastics treaty aims to arrest the alarming generation of plastics waste by focusing on reuse and recycle. The United Nations goal is to cut plastic waste and pollution by 80% by the year 2040. Mattel aims to reinvent its plastic use. Mattel hopes to use 100% recycled, recyclable, or bio-based plastic in its toys and packaging by 2030. Now, I actually hope that was true, but there was a hoax done by some environmentalists that said that that's what Mattel was aiming for. Now, why would somebody want to make a hoax about such a thing? My only guess is that they made a hoax about all of this because of the Barbie movie hype, and that they hope that this will create some buzz and conversation about actually plastic pollution from Barbie dolls. Each year, Mattel produces roughly 60 million Barbie dolls using a variety of plastics, which are derived from crude oil and manufactured in facilities in Mexico and China. A recent study by DePaul University estimated the production and transportation of Barbie dolls generate about 3.4 million metric tons of climate warming carbon dioxide, the equivalent of burning 381 million gallons of gasoline. Developing bodies of children are especially vulnerable to plastic pollution. Barbies are likely made of at least 5 types of fossil fuel-based plastics. One of those is polyvinyl chloride, PVC, like those used in plumbing. Number 2, ethylene vinyl acetate, which is EVA. Number 3, acrylonitrile butadiene styrene, also known as ABS plastic. Number 4, hard vinyl. And then number 5, additive chemicals plastics. Plastic additive called DINCH, DINCH, is diisononyl cyclohexane 1,2-dicarboxylate, has been used in newer Barbies to replace phthalates, which were additives linked to asthma, metabolic disorders, obesity, and other health problems. Research done on human cells suggests DINCH could have adverse outcomes similar to that of other toxic plastics in children's toys. Plastic toys, including Barbie, also release toxic microplastics and nanoplastics, which can be easily inhaled and ingested, especially if a child chews on their toys. Plastic toys also give off gas chemicals linked to fossil fuels called volatile organic compounds, VOCs, which are linked to several health issues, including eye, nose, and throat irritation, headaches, organ damage, nausea, and potentially cancer causing. Chewing on plastic toys can lead to lead poisoning as well. Absorbing plastic toxic chemicals into our bodies can cause serious health problems, including developmental growth, metabolic, and reproductive issues. Unfortunately and historically, plastic producers have not been transparent about the dangers and toxicity of plastic used for Barbie and other toys containing plastics. Experts and scientists believe plastic toys made before 2007, more so those made of PVC plastic like Barbie, may be especially toxic. Plastics are dangerous before they're even plastics, which is scary to think about because they are more dangerous before they even become plastics. Pollution, including plastics pollution, is responsible for approximately 9 million premature deaths per year, 1 in 6 deaths globally. Low income, rural, black, indigenous, and other communities that have faced many layers of injustices are most likely to experience the worst impacts of plastics pollution. Prior to the 1900s, most children's toys, including dolls, were constructed from glass, metal, wood, or cloth. Plastic toys and dolls were made to replace those cloth, glass, metal, and wooden ones because plastic was vastly more durable, versatile, and mass production friendly, and it was cheap. These days, it's estimated at least 90% of children's toys, and I'm more concerned with dolls, are made of plastic. This finding is not so fantastic. However, the leap to plastic-free production is less a skip and more a tightrope walk, needing significant research and development, rehashed manufacturing, and likely more expenses, which means money, 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 money. Now, here is a little drag by Yale Environment Review. They said adult toy consumers can change how many toys are recycled, reused, or discarded each year. Additionally, an increase in sustainable thinking would curb the influx of barely modified new designs each season. Oh yeah, that's a drag. Listen to it again. An increase in sustainable thinking would curb the influx of barely modified new designs each season. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Let's talk about it. So yes, Dolly Tribe, plastics are dangerous before they're even plastics. And we do have to think about what we're doing every day in society with our love of doll collecting. We do need to be more mindful, and I do think we need to put pressure on the doll companies and toy companies. If you're a toy collector watching this, we do need to put the pressure on these different companies to make better decisions. So how do we exactly go about doing this, Dolly Tribe? How do we enjoy our love of doll collecting and also reducing our environmental footprint as far as the fossil fuels and things like that of Barbie or other doll lines that you enjoy? So we do know that Barbie came out with the Barbie Loves the Ocean dolls. And it was a big fad in the doll community when they came out. Everybody had to have them, talk about them, and things of that nature. We wanted to tout, how us collecting the dolls, that we were helping with the environment, and it also started up a little conversation, but the conversation didn't go very far. It was very surface level. So now I want to know, what solutions do we have? So drop those in the comment section. What solutions do you have? The solutions that I have are probably going going to be irritating for every dog collector in the world, because I think that we should definitely have all these toy companies, these doll companies, when you're ready to dispose of your toys or what have you, there should be some kind of incentive to send the dolls back to the companies, or just do it off of good faith. Send it back to the companies and get it, and have them recycled that way. I don't know how they would do that, the logistics of it all, but I can talk about that at deeper length in another video. And then also, we do have to be mindful of the accessories and the clothing and everything that we also enjoy when we're in our doll collecting. The shoes, the houses, the little furniture, the hairbrushes, the everything that we go, that's our accessories to our dolls. We need to be mindful of how we're using those things and how that's impacting, because they're made of pretty much the same plastics as well as some of the clothing. Another solution that I have would be to stop producing a new doll wave every time. Like if you have Robin Sterling doesn't need to be made every year. Robin Sterling just needs an outfit to go with the signature Robin Sterling doll, and then just keep creating just little fashion packs or whatever. I also think that the doll industry should probably reduce the amount of doll lines that they drop a year, and probably reduce the number of dolls that they make in a doll line. I know that would be kind of upsetting to us collectors, but I think it does need to happen, because at the rate Rainbow High is dropping dolls, I think it's excessive, and they're not thinking about social responsibility whatsoever. They're thinking about the bottom line, the bottom dollar. That's all they care about. At least that's what it seems like to me, because every time, there doesn't need to be a new doll that comes out with a line. If there's like the cheer line, there just should have been cheer outfits to go with the signature dolls, something like that. Like, if you want to have one for, I don't know what the names of these dolls are, Bella of Rainbow High, then just create a fashion pack for Bella or something like that. But it doesn't need to be a new doll every time. Barbie Extra, just add some clothes to go with the dolls that are already on the market, because it is becoming very much excessive. All right, Dolly Tribe. One last thing that I wanted to say, I guess, just in reference to the different articles and some of the research that I did, is that doll collecting at least isn't a single-use purpose of plastic. Most collectors keep their dolls for years or for life. At least adult collectors do. What they don't keep is often gifted away, sold, or donated to thrift stores. So I just wanted to say that. Another thing that I wanted to bring to the attention of you guys is that probably moving forward, at the closing of each of my videos, I will be encouraging us to think more about the use of plastics in our life in general. Usually when I get doll packaging and things like that, I try to rip it down to the very core of the packaging and see what can be recycled and what cannot. I would very much encourage you to go to a place like recyclespot.org to see how to get rid of some of your more rigid plastics, because as I stated earlier in this video, rigid plastics are not acceptable as a curb in most recycling communities, I believe. So then you have to go to a secondary site, which does take more initiative on our own behalves to get rid of those type of plastics, and then those are disposed of. Recycling is also something that we just recycle and we don't think about where things go. I think we just need to be more mindful. I do know that sometimes I've had people get mad at me on social media, on Instagram and things, when they've seen me do things that have a negative twist to them, and they just tell me, oh, I prefer to focus on the positive and that sort of thing. I'm not trying to have us live in a perpetual state of sadness or negativity or anything. I just want us to be very realistic about what we do. Since this is our hobby, we are also responsible for the greenhouse gas emissions and everything else that is, that is wrong with the with the earth, what we're doing to the earth. So I do believe that we need to be more conscious of it. Am I telling you to just completely change your life and do this? No, this is just an opinion piece that I've made, detailing some very disturbing facts, actually, about the earth and the things that we all as humans, as a society, are doing to it. So I'm not trying to change anybody's way of life. Just let you know that we should probably put a little bit more initiative and effort into making the world a better place. We love Barbie because we feel like she does that for us. So if Barbie is problematic to the earth, we need to also be doing something about it. That is just my opinion. Anyway, Dolly Tribe, I really hope that you guys enjoy this. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you all so much for dipping in the Dalmosphere with me today. And don't forget to keep the sunshine in your life. Thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, many blessings. Bye-bye.